We are live.
Welcome everyone to the Strategic Planning Committee. Call to order is at, I guess, 10:35-ish. We have no presentations. Let's go to proposed agenda items.
Good morning, Dr. Halloran, Director Odell, other members of the board that might be attending, to staff and members of the public as well. Thank you for joining us today for the this committee meeting. We would like to begin with the COVID updates. We'd like to report that just as staff routinely does every month, that we are maintaining our PPEs and things are going on as normal. By the COVID spread, of course, you know, is continuing to rise, and we are continuing to climb in this pandemic, but we are keeping our measures in place. We are continuing to do our deep cleaning on the buses and in the departments of the office as well. We want to recognize that and let you know that there has been some loss, we feel, of ridership due to reduced capacities and also reduced hours and services that we've had to impart. But we feel that the Coronavirus Relief and Recovery Supplemental Appropriations Act will supplement us in that regard. These are expenses that can be used through operating to maintain our service levels and also to purchase supplies as related to COVID-19. And that's just a quick update. We are continuing to move forward in the same vein.
And I understand we had a staff member and a board member come down with COVID.
I don't know about the board member. Oh, yes.
Director Leggett.
Yes. We actually have, from as of yesterday, I was given a report that we have one person that has been confirmed positive within this week, which was, yesterday. And then we have another that reported this morning that they've been in close contact with someone that has COVID, but they're not symptomatic at this point. So we request that they take the test.
And do we have any sense as to whether they're going to extend the federal mask mandate on transit?
We don't. Right now, it stands at September 13th. We do expect, with the rise in cases across the nation, we are expecting that they will extend it.
Well, as far as that emergency measures and stuff are concerned, that should be terminated as of that date, or at least, well, let's make it to the board meeting before we make a decision. I think we should be contacting Kingston and find out what the feds are thinking.
Okay.
Because that's what he's paid to lobby for, to keep us informed.
Yes, sir.
Like update, because it requires us to order the products and stuff that we're going to need to continue with these mandates.
We do have a sufficient supply in store already, but as you said, right. But
it's a very big expense if we have to continue this for months and months without any kind of assistance from the federal government, because the infrastructure bill right now is questionable as to when it's going to pass. So that money may not be available for a year. And there's
That's
no
correct.
sign of any relief money coming from anywhere for the future.
we have frequent communication with Mr. Kingston's office, so that wouldn't be an issue to contact him just to see if he's heard anything further. But we will be keeping an eye on that through September 13th and beyond.
All right, because I don't want to be stockpiling stuff that we're not going to use come October, because PPE is expensive and we spent a fortune already, and with ridership down. Good morning, Helen. Oh, nice view through your sunroof. It looks nice up there. Okay, so we're going to extend that. I agree. I hope it.
Okay, hey y'all, I'm sorry. I just got out of the mountains.
Fine. We're just talking about COVID. I'm sure you've heard enough.
Yeah, this is really, I wish people would just go ahead and get the vaccination.
We're going to see how the mandates go. And so far, they haven't extended the federal mandates past September 13th, but I don't see how they're not going to be able to do that.
I
It
know,
certainly is going to have to be extended at least another 2 to 3 months.
right?
So we're going to have to gear up to have enough PPE and other materials available.
Yes, sir. And our director of maintenance has been really keeping an eye on that. He's been all through the pandemic. He's assured us that we have more than sufficient supply.
Yeah, shout out to Steve and his crew. They've done a Herculean task over the
Yes.
last 18 months.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Plus the fact that they've had to hand wash all the buses because our machine's been broken
Exactly.
for 2 years, 3 years now.
At least 2 years.
Well, that problem's being solved, hopefully,
Yes, sir.
very soon.
Very, very soon. With our new bus wash. We're really excited about that.
And that's due to come in, what, next couple of months?
Well, the RFP is out there, so we're just waiting to award it to someone.
Okay. So we should hopefully have it near the end of the year, if not sooner. I don't know how long it takes to build one. I imagine it's got to be at least 60 feet long to get a bus through.
Well, they're not actually having to completely rebuild it since the foundation is there. So that helps.
Yeah, that's true. We do have it. Where is it? I don't ever remember seeing it on the lot.
It's in the very back of the building.
By the
Very,
fuel
very
tanks?
back of the building. Where the fuel tank is. Yes, sir.
Okay, I haven't wandered that far back. Too many hazards.
We'll have to give you a tour the next time you're by the office.
Either that or we need an aerial shot showing what the layout is and how it looks with all the buses in place.
We can do that.
Probably should have it for for the future anyhow.
Okay.
All right, let's move on, I guess. I mean, I don't see any doubts in passing the COVID extension.
Okay. I
Right.
just wanted to bring it. I'm sorry, Director Stone.
No, I just agreed.
Okay. Oh, before
Ellen, keep your eyes on the road, Ellen.
Yeah.
I see you looking over. You say there's nothing on here that you have to worry about too much.
Before I move any further, I wanted to share with you members of the committee that rather than staff presenting this morning, that I will be presenting all of the action items as we go through the committee structure transition. So there's some things that we're still working out. So I'll be presenting all of these items this morning.
Yeah, from what I can tell, we're looking at the earliest October with a changeover. Because I know we have
well, with the work,
something
with the
Mr.
board
Eady
workshop
potentially.
yeah, well, possibly. As you also noted in your packet, that information from Mr. Eady was inadvertently placed in your packets. Beverly sent out a memo to please ignore that, but it was just some information that we were obtaining from him, some possibilities. So it's not ready to be placed before the board yet.
Unfortunately, it can't be unseen.
But there are going to probably be some additional information or about programs or agenda items that we'd like to place on the agenda for the board workshop. But we were just getting an idea from him about what his price would be. So it's just a quote.
Do we have a finalized date on that so board members can be prepared?
We do not.
I know we asked about the 11th or 17th.
And that's what, but that hasn't been decided yet. It'll be that Friday or that Saturday. But I'm not sure between the chairman and Beverly if the decision has been made on which one.
Okay, because that needs to get out there.
And she's hoping to finalize that this week.
Yeah, I'm assuming the 11th was commissioners meeting. That's why that date was dropped.
That's
The
correct.
17th must be the in-between.
That's correct. You're correct. Okay.
So
So
17th or 18th, or possibly both, according to, okay. So we can pretty much consider that, what? Tabitha, what's that? Something bad or good happened?
you're muted, Director Odell.
And the camera. All right, moving right along.
Okay. So the next item on the agenda,
yeah, we can go on to B. I
Okay.
guess we got the 2 grant applications.
yes, sir. The first one is the grant for areas of persistent poverty. It's just asking the board to approve for submission for the grant. And the other is from the National Aging and Disability Transportation Center. And it's also a grant application. We're asking the board to grant approval for staff to make these applications.
Do we know the deadline dates for submission? Because in the past, we've kind of gone with the general rule. If it's due right now, send it rather than wait for a board approval. I mean, sometimes it's 30 days and we could lose out on grants if we don't apply immediately.
Well, I know the first one, Areas of Persistent Poverty Grant, is due by August 30th.
August 30th?
Yes, sir.
Well, I think we should be working on that. The board meeting only gives you 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So with any of the grant applications, I know we, as a course, have brought it up for board approval, but certainly if there's money available that doesn't require CAT to spend it, then yeah.
Yes, sir. And both of these are just that, they're grant applications.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Stephanie, Shalanda's going to be doing the grant applications at this point,
Yes.
or is that part of this change order?
Well, she will be working with the grant application, but ACOM, as you know, Ms. Dice contacted with ACOM to assist with the grant applications and placing information into our transit administration, into the TAM. So yes, we are asking for the change order because we have exceeded the amount that was approved by the board previously. So we're asking that the board would allow us to do a change order to continue to work with them for the grant application processes.
Yeah, I don't see where there'd be any problem with that. I mean, we can't vote on it because it's only a committee meeting, but that's under your spending cap technically, and I don't see where that necessarily needs to be a board vote, because when something due on the 30th, if we don't vote on it until the 24th, this person's not going to have time to catch up.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to recognize and have the board recognize that it was a contract that was submitted, that was entered into with ACOM, and in order to amend any contracts, that I have to seek board approval to do so.
There's some of these things are, potentially going to tie up chances to get money, and with the incredible shortage of staff at the moment, I don't think we have the luxury of waiting around to get to these projects, because that one pretty much goes with the other 2.
Yes. Yes, sir. It does allow us to move forward.
All right.
And I think the information in the in your packet further explains why, we relied heavily on them for the assistance.
Yeah, we've used other outside sources as well in the past, and I know the contracts. Unfortunately, we put limits on some of the contracts, and it hurts us more than helps us at times.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if they're under the CEO approval level.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay, are there any other questions or concerns?
Travis, anything from you? I think you and Helen both agree if we can find money, get it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes,
Basically.
yes.
That was an easy question. Clinton, I assume you're on that same page.
Okay. With your permission, I'll move to the next item.
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. The next item is the Chatham County SPOS Fund reimbursement. Board has received a memo previously informing you of the situation where Chatham Area Transit is holding a liability on our books for this funds that were spent through SPOS that we feel that is necessary to reimburse. It's a good business practice and in harmony with our procurement policy. And this is what's coming before you, or will be coming before you at the regular board meeting to make a decision whether we should reimburse that amount of $49,184.74. Staff is recommending that this expense be covered through the reserve account.
Yeah, just for those who don't know, this goes back to Dr. Reese. This is the final piece of the puzzle to erase that nightmare from 15 and 16.
Yes.
This is our matching funds to the amount that the FTA requested back, I guess, last year. And
yes, sir. We've already made the payment to the FTA plus interest. And in an attempt to right the wrong, we are asking for permission to repay the county's portion as well.
Yeah, and some of those funds were returned. And we understand that, and I think it's good practice to do it. We'll be getting more SPOS funds in the future, but as far as accounting, clearing that and ending it for the triennial for one from the FTA to eliminate that on our books.
Yes.
And the general fund. Go ahead, Ellen. I'm sorry. I'll let you talk.
No,
I'm here. I can't move.
I totally agree.
Yeah, it's just good business. We don't
Yes.
want.
We don't need to get bad with the county.
No, we don't, because we're depending on SPOS funds and possibly a T-SPOS in the future. And it'll make our books better for the audits.
Yes. Yes.
So I think that's pretty much a no-brainer at this point. And if it has to come out of general funds, it does. So it doesn't disrupt our cash flow.
Okay. Okay. And the last proposed agenda item is the property and indemnity hub renewal, which is our marine services. If you know that in the previous board meeting, we informed the board that this would be coming before the board. Initially, there was a renewal of $157,304. The budget amount that we did have budgeted for the renewal was $169,459. But we're looking for the best option to ensure the marine docks and our vessels. So the renewal amount would have been coverage for $2 million protection and indemnity, whereas the insurer is suggesting that we move to $10 million in coverage. And at their recommendation, I did consult with legal, and legal is agreeing that it would be worth the difference of $32,000 to obtain the $10 million in coverage rather than $2 million.
Yeah, because the assets are worth more than that. Plus, we're adding another dock in the near future. We're adding another ferry.
The other vessels, yes, sir.
Are those included? Or
Yes,
would
sir.
they be additional? It's for the new ferry and the new dock when they're in service, or they can't really do that till we have the
They can't,
items.
not until they add it to it. So, but right, as it stands right now, the limit that we have is $2 million. And if anything happened, God forbid, that would be our limit of, our limitation of coverage.
And that
we are
would completely
proposing,
wipe out the reserve fund in any major.
yes,
I
sir.
think
For
we're still in
32,
a lawsuit over the dock collapse, aren't we?
that's still pending. But with this coverage, as was recommended and by legal, that we would increase it to $10 million coverage for an increase of $32,000, which I agree is well worth it.
Yeah, even if we go to 5, if it's, it's not like it's a doubling the premium, it's only adding 15%, and they managed to keep it under 10 for the year. So
Mhm.
I think that should be passable. We're talking about thousands of people on those boats every day.
Mhm.
And they're right, the traffic out in the harbor and the river now is much more drastic, bigger ships that, barely have enough room to make it through as it is. And our vehicles are constantly out there, whether, even though the Coast Guard keeps that fairly well protected.
Yes, as you stated, the increase in commercial property alone on the river is a serious consideration.
Yeah, and we're coming into convention season again. Well, we don't know. We don't know if they're going to continue with the Delta variant. They may start canceling those conventions. I know a lot of major events have been canceled, country, state, or countrywide. Things like the New Orleans Jazz Festival has now been canceled. And Georgia's on the bottom of the vaccinations rate and near the
Yes,
top
sir.
of the infectivity rates.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which is going to put a hard decision on to whether or not we're going to have to mandate vaccines as an employer somewhere down the road. But I don't know. It just makes me wonder, because we're bringing in hundreds of thousands of people into this city and we're not protecting our own folks. And I know it's economics, but unfortunately, we can't make that decision. Well, we can make the decision as an employer and use the same get vaccinated or demand weekly testing or bi-weekly testing.
Well, we are having those discussions within the internally. We are currently having those discussions, of course, and we are buying our options. We're following the trends of the transit industry. As you know, some of them have already mandated vaccinations or weekly testing, and we're just trying to see what's the best option for Chatham area transit at this time.
And I haven't seen any court actions preventing that. Even the airlines are thinking about it because, again, they have loads of passengers and we can't really afford to have an even smaller amount of people on the buses. We're already barely making it with the rate of passengers we have now.
And I think Delta's already done such. I mean, they have already moved forward with that.
Yeah, I know United did.
Mhm.
I know Frontier was looking at it, and a couple of other companies have set dates to put those policies in effect.
Yes, sir. But I wanted to mention as well that Sterling Seagrass Pritchard will be prepared to present to the board on the 24th.
Yeah, their proposals are pretty much right on. I don't think we've ever had a real question as to whether they're doing the best they can for us.
Yes, sir.
Thank goodness, because we need an entire staff just to handle the insurance issue. Sometimes it's easier to use a broker who deals with it every day.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Now, the other issue that's probably going to come up, and we're going to have to think about this as well, is school students using our buses after hours. I know the city reinstated the bus the mask mandate. Helen, has the county added the mask mandate? Oh, you gotta unmute, Helen.
Not at this time.
You think they're gonna plan on it with school kids getting on the buses possibly?
I wish I could tell you. I really don't know.
Okay, well, at least if we can keep the mandates on
I
the,
may know something on Friday, and I'll be happy to share what I find out.
okay, appreciate that, yeah, because we do travel out of county, and if only Savannah has the mask mandate, that ends when they cross the border. Although it is a federal mandate, but we already know people are fighting the mandates.
Yes. And then the governor has not made it a mandate across the state either.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Doubtfully that he will. As long as we have the federal mandate, we're covered.
Okay. And that's what we will follow.
Yeah, and they're the ones that supply most of our funding.
Yes, sir.
So they're not the ones we want to aggravate.
Mhm.
All right.
And other than that, we are done. I did want to note that there is an error in the next meeting, that the governance meeting is actually the 17th, not on the 10th. So you just note that correction. And
Yeah, I looked at it and I didn't even think about it. That's how it's getting. Do we have any old or new business anybody wanted to bring up?
I just want to thank everybody for what they're doing. I mean, I know it's tough right now.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm retired. Well, at least as far as not doing my other job. And of
Thank
course,
you.
the next meetings are August 17th at 11 a.m. for the governance and August 24th at 10 a.m. for the regular board meeting.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? If not, I'm gonna adjourn this meeting. Helen, drive safe. We'll see you as soon as you get back in town.
Yes, be safe.
Oh, thank you. I've been in God's country. That's all I can tell you.
It means
I mean-
trees and grass.
It was so beautiful where I was. Oh, in Highlands. It's just, I have a cousin that lives there, and I came up for a friend's wedding, and we had a great time.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. See you all soon.
All right, everyone. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.